feminine. Anything she deemed gay, girly, anything, she hated it. I always got in trouble for it. I always got berated for it, embarrassed, joked, all. So I lied to her, and I said that the girl was playing the song. So she told the little girl to come here. She asked the little girl, and the little girl was like, no, he was playing the song. After that, mama starts beating the fuck out of me. And as she's beating me, she shoves her finger inside of me, screaming, oh, this what you want? You want D in your A, and call me a B word. She was about to grab the broom, and I tried to stick the broom inside of me, but her boyfriend at the time grabbed her and told her to stop. I remember her having to wash the fecal matter off of her finger and everything. I first came out about this, my mama had her followers come attack me, had everybody calling me a liar. She went and got a lie detector test, and she failed her lie detector test. And she had an excuse as to why she failed her lie detector test.
What's eating you? Psychology is here to help you. What's eating you?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If y'all don't pick my sign up. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Psychology Eats. So what's eating you? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope this video finds you in great mental health. I hope everyone is doing well, and life is lifing. Well, ooh, y'all. So, you saw the thumbnail, you read the title. I've already did one video regarding Latrese Allen and her son Courtney, but I did want to touch on another allegation that Courtney has made about his mom. And this is not the first time he said this. He has been, over the last week or so, on TikTok doing story times of his relationship and his experience as a child with his mother, Latrese Allen. And so, of course, there's always two sides, three sides to every story. But I showed you the clip of Courtney when he's talking about an alleged SA incident that happened at his home with his mother. And so I want to talk about, is that experience considered SA and traumatic when we look at other, in comparison to what other children have experienced as a victim of SA. So according to Courtney, and I did mention in the last video that I did on this family that Courtney started showing signs as a little boy of being very feminine. And oftentimes in the Black culture, that is not applauded. It's not accepted. And oftentimes children, especially boys, who show a more feminine side are belittled, teased, picked on, threatened, that behavior is not acceptable. And so Courtney talked about his mom being very upset when he showed any signs of being gay. And so what he explained, because I did only show you part of that, him telling that story, is that his mom assumed, or, she got upset because he was listening to a song that was not, little boys shouldn't have been enjoying, according to Courtney. And in her anger, she put her finger up his butt. Do I believe him that happened? Yes, I do. I believe that happened. I do. He's never, and I'm not I haven't always listened to them. I haven't been a fan of her channel, but I am aware of what has happened and what this kid has said has happened during the time that he lived with his mom. And so his story really has never changed. What we find in treatment and in therapy is that when the story doesn't change and the details don't shift and change, oftentimes the person is telling the truth. Now, is Courtney a liar? Yes, he said that he has been a liar. Do I think he's lying about the details of that particular incident? I don't. Do I think that Latrese is a sexual pervert, or in this instant was molesting him? No. Not in the terms of the way we see molestation. I think that in that moment she was angry, frustrated, and within her own dysfunction and the way that she operated as a parent, that made sense to her. That she wanted to show him, punish him, berate him, belittle him for being feminine. And so it was a form of punishment. When we see SA within a family, oftentimes it's ongoing, right? It's ongoing. He's never told more stories about her that I'm aware of about her being sexually inappropriate with him. I haven't heard more stories about that. Was that incident traumatizing to him? 100%. Was she wrong? 1000%. According to her, and I heard her talk about, she did take a lie detector test and she failed it. She believes she failed it because she said no, she never put her finger in her kid's private, but then she admitted that she did when she was trying to help them, like if her children were constipated, and she did that in order to release feces. A lot of mothers can attest to that, and fathers, that they did that. I remember growing up, I had, y'all don't come for me, I had worms. I was about 5 or 6 years old. I remember having tapeworms, we called it back then. And my daddy had to stick his finger up my ass.
Oh my God.
To get the tapeworm out of my butt. And would that have been considered sexual assault? Had I, as a child, been like, my daddy stuck his finger up my butt, somebody could have interpreted that all fucked up. Next thing you know, my dad locked up. It wasn't a sexual assault move. It was trying to get that tapeworm out my ass. But, and however, in the case of Latrese and her son, do I believe that she intentionally sexually assaulted him? I do not. I believe that she was trying to prove a point that was totally, absolutely wrong. Because as you can see, folks, people, black people, white people, I don't care what you do to your child. If your child is gay, they're gay. I don't care what you try to do to berate them, belittle them, change them. Nothing you can do is going to change that. Nothing you can do is going to change that. The only thing you're going to do is ruin your relationship with your child. And that is what she has managed to do. So, this ain't our family. This ain't really even our business. But we're going to make it our business because they bring it to the internet and we're going to talk about it. So as a therapist, if I'm working with Courtney, I'm going to work with Courtney to help Courtney see the dynamic of what happened in that situation. Are you willing to forgive? Well, first of all, she has to admit, Latrese has to admit that happened. She has to admit that that happened. Latrese, if it happened, it happened. You were operating out of being a dysfunctional mother. I don't know if you were intoxicated at the time of the incident. But the first thing you have to do in order to heal from this is admit that you did it in that moment. And I believe you did it. I 100% believe in that moment you did it. Do I believe you're a sexual pervert and you sexually assaulted your child in a sexualized way? I don't. I do not. But that's it. That's all I got to say about that. Y'all comment down below. What do you think? Should Courtney just let this all go? Should he go into treatment? Should Latrese admit that she did that shit? And let's move on and heal, or not speak on each other. Should they just not stop speaking on each other until everybody is healed? That's it, y'all. Comment down below.
Guess what? I got a share with me and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. And hit that little bell.
Subscribe. Say
Button.
subscribe to Psychology Eats.
Subscribe to Cowboy Eat.
Not Cowboy.